Wait, where do I even keep all this cryptocurrency?
That's a great question from me, whose money is completely legal. It's a common saying that if you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto. Well, I have two of the most popular ways for diehard crypto bros to own their crypto. That's a Trezor Model 1 and a Ledger Nano S Plus, both of which are extremely popular hardware wallets and at a very similar price. So I'm gonna review and compare them in this video. The Trezor Model 1 is advertised as the original hardware wallet, and for good reason. It's been around for over 10 years, and at just 40 Freedom Bucks, that's a pretty good deal. It's one of the most affordable hardware wallets on the market. However, the price does come with a few drawbacks. The screen isn't as big as its older brother, the Trezor Safe 5, as well as not having as many recovery options. If you lose your keys, well, you're toast. And the worst part, in my opinion, is that this thing only has a micro USB. I thought Europe outlawed that already. Why do we still have micro USB in big 2025? It isn't all bad though. Seeing as the price is only $40 versus the Ledger Nano S Plus at $79, which is actually the same price as the Trezor Safe 3, you can make some exceptions. But let's talk build quality for a second. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks like Fisher-Price's My First Toy wallet. It feels like it was 3D printed in someone's garage, and it might have been. It's ultra portable because of how light it is, but when you're holding thousands of dollars of magic internet money on this thing, it's not exactly confidence inspiring. Let's talk about the screen on this thing. How do I put this delicately? It's like anti-Gorilla Glass. It's the opposite of Gorilla Glass, you know? If you put this in your pocket with your keys, your Trezor is gonna look like it's seen a bear market and a blender. The buttons they're all right. I mean, they're really mushy. It's like squeezing a half-inflated stretch toy. You won't be like rage clicking through this UI because first of all, there's barely any UI on this. And also, your thumbs will probably give up first. But hey, credit where credit is due, this thing is mad simple. You do not need a computer science degree, nor do you need a Reddit thread with like 37 steps. All you have to do to set this up is plug it in, follow the tutorial, and boom, you own your own bank. You don't have to like do anything crazy. You write down your seed phrase on a piece of paper. I actually showed the whole setup tutorial in a previous video, as well as Ledger's if you want to check that out. But one thing that's really important, do not lose that paper or enjoy your donation to the crypto god. Satoshi needs that. So now, let's talk about the Ledger Nano S Plus. If the Trezor is like a scrappy underdog, the Ledger is more like a nerdy older cousin who took one coding bootcamp and suddenly thinks he's Elon Musk. This thing is doing way too much, down to the UI, you know? But on the other hand, it does have a much nicer build quality. This thing feels solid. It's like a little USB stick that took protein powder and is really buff. I feel like I could drop this shit. Like, I want to throw this at the camera and see what happens, you know? Like, I don't know if I should have done that. The buttons are still physical, but are a lot more clicky than the Trezors, which is really nice. Like, this feels a lot nicer to press, and you can definitely tell that there's like a $30 difference here. When you're navigating through the menus, and there are a lot of menus, it feels like you're not really like clicking like cherry slush and more like you're navigating through like a crypto bomb, which is cool. But in my opinion, one of the biggest downsides of the Ledger is that there is just way too much going on. If you want to do stuff on this, you need to navigate through 5-6 menus, and sometimes it's not completely intuitive, which can get in the way when you're just trying to send and receive crypto. The screen is also bigger, sharper, and made from a material that doesn't scream, "Scratch me, daddy." No, it's not Gorilla Glass, but with this little cover that goes over it, I feel a lot more comfortable throwing it in my backpack or just putting it in my pockets. But, and this is a big but, if you have an iPhone, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, the Ledger is not compatible with your iPhone. It works with Mac just fine, but like, if you buy this and all you have is an iPhone, you just bought yourself a really expensive paperweight. This thing is not compatible with my iPhone, and honestly, like, is one of the biggest drawbacks for me. I just want to be able to plug this in wherever I am, and I can only do that with a laptop now because I don't have an Android phone. So here's my final verdict. Pick the Trezor Model 1 if you want something simple, cheap, and effective. I think those are the best descriptors for that. If you're dipping your toes into crypto for the first time, I think this is a really easy way to get started. It doesn't have any of like the knickknacks or the better UI that the Ledger might have. However, it is $30 cheaper and it is effective. If you get the Ledger Nano S Plus, you'll have a better unboxing experience, better experience all around. It just feels like a more polished product. However, it does come with its own drawbacks, especially the price tag. And when you're thinking about price tag, if you have an extra $30 to $40 laying around, you can actually skip the Model 1 and go straight to the Trezor Safe 3, which has the best of both worlds. It has a USB-C, secure element, and a less of a, why does this feel like a toy vibe. Anyways, this is the bottom line, all right? Whichever one you choose, you're already ahead of like 90% of people. People who keep their money in Coinbase are constantly getting hacked, constantly losing their money, and also accounts get frozen all the time. You don't want that to happen to you. Get a physical wallet. This is the best way to store your crypto and also the safest and most effective method. Just don't be the guy that keeps their seed phrase on their notes app. Anyways, enjoy some footage of me throwing these. So we're here in my garage. Pan real quick, give me a quick pan. As you can see, all my Lamborghinis. So we have the ledger in my right hand. Right here, we have the ledger, and then we have the Trezor in my left hand. And we're gonna be doing some durability testing, you know, some easy testing. So we're gonna start with the ledger. First, we're gonna start simple. We're just gonna drop it from like this height. All right, I'm 6'1" for reference. My Tinder profile says 6'2". And as you can see, both of them fell. Trezor is undamaged. You see that should look good. The ledger, also undamaged. The screen is completely fine. All right, now we're gonna start tossing these. All right, I feel like that was enough. Like I could drop these all day. But what if I just went like, oh shit, it broke. The screen broke. Oh my God, the screen broke. I could just like press that. Can you hear that? Just like press it in. Shit's really broken. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the ledger. Just gonna chuck it at the ground. Yo, that shit went everywhere. We got a piece there, a piece right here, a piece right there. We got a piece right here. These are the buttons. Oh my God, this thing completely disassembled. It completely disassembled. Hold on, let's see if we can put this back together real quick. Oh my God. Wait, so this is, oh, it just stung me. So this would go like right here. Maybe something like this. It's broken. So these are not, do not throw these. Do not throw these at the ground really hard. That was $79. Thank you, Status, for letting me invoice this to you guys. I'm not paying for these. That's the review, I guess. I kind of expected them to be more durable, but I guess the Trezor would still turn on. I'll test them when I get back. I assume the Trezor is still gonna turn on. This thing is completely not, oh, so this is a screen actually right here. So hold on, let's go back inside real quick. Let's break this down. So I broke both of them. The Trezor stayed in one piece. However, the screen is completely toast. However, we do have the ledger. So I'm gonna reassemble this ledger. I actually know for a fact it's really easy. So all you have to do is put the buttons back in, right? So we have the buttons in there. Cool. And now you take the screen and you take the motherboard, and you'll notice there's a connector right there with pins, and then this has pins on the back of it. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna basically like make these two ledgers, make these two pins fornicate. You squeeze them together, just goes in, and then you put the USB where the USB is gonna go, and obviously the screen is gonna face towards the front, little notches, and then I just put this back on. Boom, like that, and it's back together in one piece, completely flush. So now let's try it out. Let's see if these will turn on. Let's see if these will turn on. All right, so we're back in my room. I have my Trezor, I have my cat. I'm gonna plug in my Trezor, and look at that. It still turns on, and I'm waiting to see if the Trezor suite will recognize it. Yeah, this thing's toast. All right, ledger test. Still no response from the screen. They're both bricked. Don't throw your crypto wallets. Thanks for watching.